Okay, Diarito, hi, I'm Miguel. We are going to present our project Changing the World One Flower at a Time by us. I am Flavia.
I'm Juliana.
Diana.
I'm Esteban.
Sofia.
Viviana.
I'm Thomas.
Our project is about the planting of a flower that is called Crotalaria musea, and this flower decreases the mosquito population by releasing a smell that attracts dragonflies. By doing so, the mosquito-transmitted diseases become less likely to spread because the dragonflies feed on mosquitoes. Raise your hand if you completely trust natural resources to cure diseases instead of man-made antibiotics. Okay, that's what I thought. The purpose of our project is to make you believe that you can trust in natural remedies to cure diseases. For example, this alternative, the one that we are providing for you, is a low-cost one because you can get a seed anywhere, and we are donating it to most houses in our community, so it's accessible and it's cheaper and it has shown results. We're doing this project because we have a lot of mosquito-transmitted diseases in our country because it's a tropical region, and about 10 to 12 people in our class have shown symptoms related to these diseases, so it's very spread. And this project will transcend socioeconomic statuses because you don't get sick based on your incomes or in your class, so it contributes to a large part of our community. This is a graph that shows the amount of diseases we have in Bolivia. The orange one is chikungunya, that is the most recent one. Zika, it's the lowest one, but it's still spreading. And dengue is the blue one, which had its peak in 2011.
Demonstration of Aedes aegypti. Aedes aegypti is the mosquito that transmits the disease. The Aedes aegypti is a mosquito that is very easy to spot. It has white spots and it has very long legs, and some symptoms that can cause a bite from this mosquito is dengue, chikungunya, and Zika. When you have dengue, usually your whole body hurts. You're sore, you have nausea, you start to vomit, you lose your appetite. And when you have chikungunya, you have joint pain, headaches, muscle pain, high fever, and red spots around your body. And when you have Zika, you have back pain, red eyes, red, white, patchy skin rashes, headaches, and joint and muscle pains. In 2011, it was a year with the highest dengue rate with 49%, and most cases turned out to be positive. In 2012, 17,843 people in Santa Cruz had dengue-related symptoms, and almost 250 people died.
Also, something very important to note about dengue is that each time a person gets a disease, the next time it is much more dangerous, and every recurring time that you get dengue, there's more chances that you will get the dengue hemorrágico, which is the most dangerous type of dengue. Also, chikungunya is another disease that we've seen a lot of cases lately. More cases of chikungunya have happened in the past years than ever before. In 2015, there were 3,500 cases of chikungunya. And most of the people that are affected by chikungunya they live in rural areas. And this is because there's more chances that mosquitoes will breed in the water and rural areas.
How are these diseases spread? These diseases are spread when a mosquito bites a person that's infected and then goes and bite another person. They get there are diseases that are very highly contagious, and that's how the diseases spread. And what we plan to do with the flower is to diminish the community of mosquitoes by attracting the dragonflies that consume the mosquitoes.
So another disease that is commonly spread by mosquitoes is Zika, and in 2016, it's the year in which Zika was the most prevalent in, and in 2016, 1,600 Zika cases were presented just in Bolivia. 787 of all these cases were reported in Santa Cruz only. And nationwide in Bolivia, 72 deaths were because of Zika.
So this is how our project came to be. In 2012, the Department of Agroeconomy made a study that showed how the Aedes aegypti, if the population were smaller in places where the Crotalaria juncea plant was found. So in those places, the population of mosquitoes was small compared to other places that lacked this plant. The studies of the Campinas State University in Brazil, made in 2005 by the Department of Vegetal Physiology, have shown how specific growth conditions led the Crotalaria juncea to develop specific toxins from its petals that attract the dragonflies.
Process of the flower. So like all flowers, the Crotalaria has its own process to attract dragonflies. And what it does is that while it grows, it develops a mineral interaction. And this interaction is attractive to dragonflies. And dragonflies feed on Aedes aegypti, which is the mosquito that carries diseases like the ones we mentioned before. So therefore, if the flower attracts dragonflies, then dragonflies will eat the mosquitoes away. The social aspect, 38% of the people infected can afford proper medical care. So it's more prominent in people with less resources, but it's not only towards them. Anyone can get these diseases, and the method of prevention is accessible for the entire community because, as Dalia said before, the flower by itself is very affordable, and we are distributing it by our community.
This is the video of our project, and it shows what we've done throughout the past months to try to spread the Crotalaria juncea.
practically the outline of our project. So on September 2015, when we started out by planting 25 flowers of our plant, which is the Crotalaria musea, the scientific name. The basic goal of our project was to collect the seeds that were obtained from the flowers, and we had to donate them throughout the community, which we live in. Earlier this year, we went knocking on doors through the entire Santa Cruz, and we explaining how Crotalaria musea would be helpful for the community, and we explained its benefits, how it's able to help, its effects it has on the community, and we helped people understand this new matter. And we basically, at the end, we started donating seeds and the flowers, as you just saw in the video, to our neighbors in the community.
So the main effect of our project is that we donated these plants to the community. It was to 30 different houses, and we are hoping that the members of these households will spread the information and the seeds that are provided by the plants to the rest of their community, so that the spreading of the mosquitoes will diminish.
Our responsibility was to create this awareness between our community here in Santa Cruz, Bolivia. So we distributed the plants effectively, and now it's the role of the people to spread our word with others. That way, as an underrated as a flower can become a popular prevention method instead of seeking towards medication.
And these are like quotes from people that have got these diseases transmitted by the mosquitoes from people we know. If you would have told me back then a flower could have fixed this, I would have thought you were kidding me. This is said by Marisol Antelo, a 44-year-old woman who got dengue. I cried every day because I thought it would never stop. This statement is from one of our classmates, Raul Valla, and he got chikungunya. I got sick when I got pregnant with my first child, and I thought I would never see his face, so it'll take a million flowers. This statement was said by Rosa Jimenez, a woman, 27 years old, and she survived Zika in the last few years.
Mosquitoes suck, and not just literally. Their bites are also itchy and annoying, and certain species transmit parasites and viruses like the ones that cause malaria, yellow fever, and Zika, infecting and killing hundreds of thousands of people each year. And when we told you about the Zika virus a couple weeks ago, a lot of you had the same question. Why don't we just kill them all? All of them. Kill all the mosquitoes. Humans are historically really good at making things go extinct, so it shouldn't be too hard to get rid of these bloodsuckers, right? Yeah, not exactly. First of all, there are over 3,000 mosquito species worldwide, and only a couple hundred of them bite humans. Mosquitoes have been around for a lot longer than people, millions of years, and have survived lots of predators and environmental changes. So that would be a lot of tough insects to kill, and a lot of bug deaths that wouldn't affect humans at all. And we've tried to eradicate mosquitoes before, mostly using chemicals that turned out to be awful for both the planet and us, like DDT. But let's pretend that we were actually able to kill all the mosquitoes in some not environmentally apocalyptic way. Say if I wished on a star, and the next day all mosquitoes just poofed out of existence. Would that be so bad for the Earth? Some scientists actually say no, that if mosquitoes were suddenly ripped out of food webs, most ecosystems would heal pretty quickly, and other organisms would fill in those gaps. But other scientists argue that certain mosquito species do play important ecological roles. Take the mosquitoes that live in the Arctic of Canada and Russia. They fly around in gigantic, thick swarms and make up a huge part of the biomass there, and these mosquitoes pollinate Arctic plants and are a major food source for migrating birds. Removing these guys or other more southern species that are food for fish, birds, and other insects could send a ripple through ecosystems, endangering many other plants and animals. So we probably shouldn't kill all the mosquitoes. But we also don't have to. We know which species are vectors or carriers of the worst viruses and parasites that can infect humans. So lots of researchers are currently targeting these species and developing ways to kill them or kill the dangerous stuff inside them. Take the genus Aedes, which transmits lots of awful diseases. One particularly nasty species is Aedes aegypti, which is the primary vector for the yellow fever, dengue, chikungunya, and Zika viruses. A. aegypti is not just a pest, it's one of the most medically significant pests. So it's the focus of a lot of recent experiments in targeted mosquito eradication. But some of the most promising research doesn't set out to kill mosquitoes outright. Instead, it genetically modifies them. In 2015, a British company called Oxitec created male A. aegypti mosquitoes with a self-limiting gene, which basically means that the gene can stop their cells from functioning normally. When these genetically modified mosquitoes are released and mate with females in the wild, the self-limiting gene gets passed on to their offspring. Those offspring usually can't develop properly and die before they become adults. No adult mosquitoes means no disease transmission. Likewise, a team of scientists in California inserted modified genes into a species of Anopheles mosquitoes, which are vectors for the parasite that causes malaria. The modified genes cause the mosquitoes to kill the malaria-causing parasites that live inside them before they can transmit them to humans. And as a bonus, these parasite-destroying genes are designed to be passed on to 99.5% of the mosquito's offspring. So eventually, this entire species could be unable to transmit malaria, and scientists think that same technology could be applied to other mosquito species and other parasites and viruses like Zika. Lastly, some scientists are fighting fire with fire, or fighting viruses with bacteria, by intentionally infecting A. aegypti mosquitoes with a bacterium called Wolbachia. Wolbachia seems to stop most viruses from growing inside these mosquitoes, so even if the mosquitoes bite somebody infected with, say, the dengue virus, the virus wouldn't survive inside the mosquito long enough to be transmitted to a new person. Now, because viruses mutate rapidly, scientists worry about accidentally creating deadly viruses that are resistant to Wolbachia. But a study released this week suggested a strategy to super-infect mosquitoes with more than one strain of the bacteria at a time. This way, the viruses can't develop resistance to the bacteria as easily, and we can keep infecting mosquitoes to keep them from infecting us. I mean, it's only fair. So basically, it would be incredibly difficult and possibly harmful to kill all the mosquitoes, but we may soon be able to focus on certain species and take away their ability to infect us, making the world a lot safer, but not any less itchy. Thanks for watching this episode of SciShow News. Thank you to all of the people doing this amazing research, and thank you to our patrons on Patreon who support SciShow so it can always be freely available to everyone. If you want to help us keep making shows like this, you can go to patreon.com/SciShow, and if you just want to keep getting smarter with us, you can go to youtube.com/SciShow and subscribe.
You can say like, this is just an idea of our representation. After this, we would have a Kahoot, an activity with the group.
Okay. So basically, after this is just an outline of our project. After this, to conclude, we have a Kahoot, which is basically a game to entertain the spectators of our project, in which we basically ask questions, and it's like a Jeopardy game. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.